Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We're going to be talking about Caramel Sundays, the holiday. Now, I purchased this beautiful vessel during their October restock, which was when they initially offered this fragrance. And a little bit of a fun story associated with this candle. Initially, I believe that it was an attempt to kind of be modeled after one of my favorite Yankee Candle fragrances, which is Home for the Holidays. Now, I am going to tell you guys, it is not Home for the Holidays. This is a very different fragrance. However, a little bit of a spoiler alert. I'm not mad at this fragrance at all. And in fact, I went into a Yankee Candle store last week, and I'm going to tell you guys which fragrance this actually reminds me a little bit of. So, the reason why I am doing this review is it's in my collection. I like to review all of the candles that come through my collection. That way I have them my thoughts documented here on my channel. But good news, you guys, this candle in this beautiful gold vessel is returning for the December Caramel Sundays restock. I know we are just still getting over the high of the rush of shopping from their November restock last weekend. Oh boy, you guys, did my wallet take a hit. But the December restock will be happening on December 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we've got a little bit of time, you guys. We can get through the holiday season. But they are bringing this one back. And you guys might be thinking, why would they be bringing a holiday candle back after the Christmas season? But I'm going to tell you guys, I actually think it's going to work. So let's go ahead and get into the details of this review. You guys can see that my camera angle is actually a little bit different than it normally is. And that is mainly because I wanted you guys to see the ambiance that comes off of this special vessel. This is a different vessel than is typically used for like their 40-ounce 4-wick candles. This is a 4-wick candle. I believe that it was listed on the website as being 43 ounces of 100% soy wax. Caramel Sundays is a small business based out of Monroe, Georgia that uses 100% soy wax candles. They pride themselves in being non-tox and using clean ingredients. And you guys know I've fallen in love with this brand over the last year. They do not send PR, nor do they do sponsorships. So I did purchase this candle with my own money. This candle does retail for $69.99. That does include the cost of shipping. And like I said, we've got this beautiful vessel here. Spoiler alert, you guys, this was available in the November restock in Bakery on Main. You better believe that I could not resist purchasing one in that format, even though I have a giant 150-ounce vessel of Bakery on Main. And we'll talk about that candle a little bit. We'll loop back around to that as we get into this review. So let's go ahead and talk about the fragrance notes on this candle. The Holiday has fragrance notes listed as top notes of cinnamon, clove, and cedarwood, mid notes of balsam and berry, base notes of sweet baked cookies. Okay, you guys, this fragrance, I just have to say, is absolutely beautiful. The notes that my nose definitely picks up on is the berry note is definitely prevalent, but this is not your like summertime berries. To my nose, I feel like this is coming off as a cross between maybe some cranberry, but it's a little bit sweeter. So I would say possibly a little bit of strawberries in there. I would say it's more so cranberry. It's not a tart cranberry. It's definitely more of like a sweet cranberry. I get a tiny bit of balsam in there. There is a little bit of a tree note, but again, the tree note, this is not a dominant tree note. This is a gourmand candle to my nose. With a berry note in there. This is like a wintertime gourmand. It doesn't necessarily smell obviously like cinnamon rolls or anything like that. The base note of sugar cookie in here, you guys, is done so well. There's a little hint of spice there in the top, how it says cinnamon, clove, a little bit of cedar wood. This is not a woody fragrance and it's not really a tree fragrance to my nose, but I do feel like all of the notes that are listed on this candle just beautifully come together. They're very nicely balanced. But again, to my nose, it's definitely more of It's not even really like the cranberry note that I get from their cranberry and birch or a lot of their other cranberry notes. There's another berry in here that I feel like it is possibly maybe strawberry, but again, not your summertime strawberry. But the base note of sweet baked cookies in here, you guys just trust me on this one. It works. This is beautifully done. Now, the thing that I'm going to say about this fragrance is that while it's called the holiday, does it work beautifully right now during the Christmas season? Yes. Do I think that this fragrance will still work January, even February? Absolutely. This actually might even be a fragrance that for those of you who are not seasonal burners, this might be a beautiful year-round fragrance. Like I said, the tree note is very subtle there. It's not overly piney. Caramel Sundays does a really good job with the balance of their gourmand aspects with a tree note. I've noticed that in like their Perfect Christmas, the marshmallow note is more dominant than the tree note. Even in Santa's house, that candle had more of like the cupcake accord with a little bit of tree in the background. So if you're somebody who's averse to that tree note that you see listed in a lot of candles that mix tree and a gourmand, I think that you would like the way that Caramel Sundays does this. Now, the fragrance that I feel like this actually smells quite similar to is Yankee Candle's Christmas Eve. If you've smelled that candle in the past, or if you go into a Yankee, or if you just happen to find it at the various retailers that Yankee carries, or like Yankee's line is carried at, if you pick up a candle of Christmas Eve, I feel like Christmas Eve smells similar to this. But again, as in true fashion with Caramel Sundays does it better. Their fragrance notes, I can tell, are just a little bit higher quality. The oils that they use are a little bit higher quality. The wax is a little bit higher quality. And in my opinion, I feel like you're going to be getting a higher quality performance out of this candle. But if you like Yankee Candle's Christmas Eve, then you will definitely love the holiday. Because again, I feel like they're sisters. The holiday to me smells like the sophisticated older sister. That's the way that I would put it. Just a very, very well done candle. Now let's go ahead and talk about the performance. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys where I'm at in the burn on this. I am probably a little over halfway down. You guys, nice, beautiful wax pull. You can see my wicks are burning beautifully. I'm not having any sooting issues. This one is just gorgeous. Strength and throw on this. You guys, if you want a strong candle, this is the one to get. You guys, this fragrance to me, this is one of the rare candles that is almost a 10 for me in terms of strength and throw. This one, I light it out here in the open concept, and I'm telling you, the first time that I had this lit, I could smell it all the way in my master bathroom, which is, around, you've got to go around a corner, through another wall. I could smell it all the way in there. Now, I actually like pairing Santa's house with this candle. So I will burn Santa's house in my bedroom and then burn this one out in the open concept. I am actually almost done with Santa's house. And so I think my next combination that I'm going to choose to go with is this fragrance is the Holiday with Bakery on Main. I think that those two together are going to just be a beautiful combination. And like I said, if you're a gourmand lover, you could probably burn that January. Even, dare I say, you guys, I actually think some aspects of this might be beautiful for like Valentine's Day. You could pair this with a chocolate scent. Again, you can pair it with a tree scent if you want during the Christmas season. Again, that's not going to be possible if you didn't purchase this already, but if this is in your collection, I know a lot of people have. I know I'm not the only one who's raving about this. We are all pretty much loving this fragrance, and I am so glad that Caramel Sundays heard our feedback and they are bringing it back in December, because like I said, I think that this one is still going to be possibly a great year-round fragrance, but still, this is going to be really nice throughout January and February. So this one does get 2 thumbs up from me. I actually have this on my wish list to repurchase in the December restock, just because, you guys, the performance has been phenomenal on it. That being said, you guys, with me saying that this is a 10, also note that this is not It is definitely a dominant fragrance, but it's not headache inducing. It's not cloying. One of the things that I will say that I have experienced with caramel sundaes, and I've also experienced this with Kringle. I've made mention of this before. I have a lot of friends and a couple of family members who are very sensitive to fragrance. They oftentimes have told me, I cannot burn candles. I can't use a lot of the fragrance things that are in more of your mass market availability because they say it gives them headaches. I have burned these candles around those friends. They do not get headaches from these. They actually say, wow, you actually have a candle brand. And I'm like, yeah, it's because they use better ingredients. So I did want to put that out there that this candle is definitely noticeable. In fact, my mother-in-law came over this morning. I walked with a friend. She came in. She goes, oh my gosh, she was approaching my door. And she's like, I can already smell your house. It smells so good. So yeah, this one, you guys, definitely put it on your wish list. This one is beautiful. And yeah, highly, highly recommend this candle. So let me know in the comment section down below if you purchased this one during the October restock. What has your experience been with it? Or is this one going to be on your wish list for December? Don't let the name The Holiday keep you from purchasing it after Christmas. That's all I'm going to say. I've got at least one on my wish list. I don't know, you guys. I might go a little crazy and put two on there because this fragrance is just so beautifully done and cannot recommend it enough. It's probably one of my favorite fragrances that I purchased in my October restock. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you want to see what I purchased during the November restock. Like I said, my wallet took quite the hit. Multiple orders were placed, and I hope to have that video up for you guys next weekend. As of the time that I am filming this, it says that my order should be delivered on Monday, December 1st. I would love for it to be delivered earlier than that, but also I recognize that we had a holiday this week, so it's totally fine. But anyways, you guys, please hit thumbs up if you found this review helpful. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.